Okay, bro, I'm going to give you just about a 2-minute personal tour of the property so I can show you the Twin Pine Trail of the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Be taking the four-wheeler up just real quick. Show you the project I've been working on all week. I've been trying to rearrange my garage, shit shuffling as I call it. A few days ago you couldn't walk through here, but I'm getting everything organized out of the way. But let's go get on the four-wheeler here. The Twin Pine Trail is up there in the forest close to the campground. I left it out last night and it rained a little bit, but it's okay. All right, POV. Gotta turn it on. Put it in high gear. Say good morning to the chickens. Good morning, girls. Say hi to Ray. Here, once I get going later, I'll actually let them out. We let them free range during the day, then we shut them up in the evenings. Here's our overgrown garden. This is the garden we had before we went to the Philippines. I planted a new one down here. I'll show you in a minute. There's Dearly on the porch. Say hi to Ray, honey.
Hi, Ray.
I'm making Ray like a personal tour of the property video to show him the Twin Pine Trail.
Okay.
All right, so there's Dearly. There's the pond where I was when we were talking on the phone. There's Dearly's new bins. Yeah, all right. I'm going to show you the bees first. But here's our pond. I'll show you the creek pond too, where we just put in 2,000 new fish 2 days ago. We planted this weeping willow. It's 30 feet tall now. It was 2 feet tall when we planted it. We planted it off of a cutting we made. We cut a limb off of an existing tree from a neighbor's house, stuck it in water until it rooted. It took about 10 days, and we put it in the soil, and that was about 5 years ago. This is the fruit orchard. We didn't get any fruit this year because I pruned all the trees just a little bit too late. But last season we had 2 truckloads of fruit. We get peaches, pears, apples, plums, and apricots. This is my beehive. I'm going to show you something very cool. You see them swarming. My friend that takes care of my bees, his name's Heath. He actually put them in some new boxes yesterday. I got the boxes and he did all the work. But look at this. You can take the side off and you can see the honeybees in there. You can see them working. Isn't that beautiful? And they're peaceful. I don't bother them. They don't bother me. I talk to them. I feed them in the winter, so they get to know my voice and my scent. And so they're not a threat to me because they know I'm not a threat to them. All right. Isn't that beautiful? Busy as a bee. All right. Gotta put it back in drive. All right. My friend Heath just went and bought these 2 hives 2 days ago, and he set them up here. He takes care of bees on about 3 or 4 different properties. He has about 6 hives. He extracts the honey. There's our gate. Here's our driveway. There's our big field. That particular forest we planted when we moved here. It's been about 8 or 9 years. Many of the trees are mature now. Here's a giant blueberry bush I planted. Some of the blueberries are ripening. So now Thea bush we planted. That was 1 foot tall. Hi again, honey. Alright, so here's the very small creek that's spring fed that feeds our pond. There's our big pond. Here's the little stream. This is what we call our creek pond. We dammed up that little spring and it's made a quite sizable little stocking pond. You can't really see them right now because it's daytime, but just 2 days ago we put in 200 channel catfish, 100 largemouth bass, and about 1,500 minnows, which the other fish will eat. That's a food source. I can come down here at night with my flashlight and you just see the catfish swarming because they're nocturnal. Right now during the day, they're like Heath. They're in the Philippines. They bury themselves underneath the mud by day and then they'll come out at night. Alright, let's go through here. This is my ground blind where I hunt deer from. I bait them up here. I've got fruit trees planted in this portion of the meadow, but I also put out corn and a salt block. I just built this garden after I got back from the Philippines. It had been overgrown for years. We were keeping the chickens in here, but I transferred them as you saw. I made a raised garden bed out of scrap lumber and I planted corn, which is now coming up. And all of this is a pumpkin patch. I planted 36 pumpkins in here. They're starting to come up, but you have to be really close to see them. All right, let's go up here. This is our campground. Here's our tent. We put it up in the spring and pretty much leave it up all summer. But as you can tell, the weather's gotten to it over the last few years, so we're going to throw it away when we take it down. And we have other tents, and we're just not going to leave them up year round. We're going to put them up as we use them and then take them down after we use them so they last longer. But there's our fire pit. I built that. Yeah, this was all a hayfield when we bought it. All these trees you see have grown since we bought it 9 years ago, and I've kept this portion of the property mowed down. You know, this could be Lone Pine Trail. I just thought of that. I'm going to rename this trail. We sleigh ride there. That's a very steep hill, and in the winter when it snows, we sleigh ride down here. But there's only one pine there, so this is now the Lonesome Pine Trail. Okay. Wow, we figured it out. Go back in the drive. So now I'm going to show you what was originally going to be Lone Pine Trail, but two pine trees came up. This main trail goes back down to the house, but I cut two other trails through here, one here and one here, so I can get around and go wherever I want to go. But originally, I had this trail going through, and there was only one tree. So this was going to be the Lone Pine Trail of Virginia, so that it would exist. But then this pine tree came up, so now I call it Twin Pine Trail. And this trail goes over and drops down to where I hunt for deer. So, and then here's another apple orchard. Again, no fruit this year, but last year we got quite a bit. We'll get more next year. There's the property from up here. And then, of course, this trail goes up around the top portion of the property and comes out at the new now Lone Pine Trail where we sleigh ride. And this is what I call Hilltop Bar. I'll come up here at the end of the day, bring a chair, sit right here, have a cold one or 6, and just take in the view. So there you go, bro. I hope you enjoyed your personal tour of the property. This video will not go on social media because this video was just for you. Take care of yourself over there. Let me know how everything's going, and I love you, and I'll talk to you next time, bro.